Hi everybody, I'm just going to give you a little example of how to layer things and remove backgrounds. This is the quick and easy way if you don't want to use paid clipping programs. There are programs where you can pay to have backgrounds removed if you don't know how to do it in Photoshop. And I still do this even though I pay for some. I still do this sometimes as well. Now what you do is you come up to design here. This is just a basic, let's pretend we're making a laundry flyer. So design, oops, hang on, I'll take you back out of that because it happened without doing it. Design, I come down to blank canvas and I go to square because I like to work with squares. I just think they're better, if you're using Instagram, they're better display. They fill up the page, like in groups, they're really good size too. So I always work with a square. We're going to pretend we're making a laundry flyer and they're not high quality images I'm using, so I'll just bear with me if they don't look great. It's not one I'm going to use. So, okay, so over here is all your different things you can use. Now, for the purposes of adding something, you go to overlays, which is the butterfly, click it. Then I go up to add your own, and I'm just going to put washer whiffs because I had a blank washer whiffs right there. Open and make it a little bit bigger. It's a bad quality picture, but that's okay because I'm not using it. Now I'm going to get a laundry liquid. So come back up to add your own. I saved it just before as LL. And open that up. Now, as you see, when I pop that on, it covers up the washer whiffs because it's on a blank, a white black background. So what you need to do is you need to, first of all, come over here to blend modes and look at the different blend modes, and it's darken that we want to use when we're layering them. Now that looks okay like that, but if you put it like that, you can see the washer whiffs through it. So just for the purposes of this, I am just going to remove the background of the washer whiffs. So what you need to do is just figure out where you want them standing that looks reasonable. Now, click on the right one. So I'm wanting to remove part of the washer whiffs image so that it's not visible through the laundry liquid. So you click on, that's the washer whiffs, you click on the washer whiffs and you come in here to the overlay box and see there's eraser. Now you've got eraser and you've got paint back if you make a mistake, so that's really handy. Now what I like to do is use the brush as soft as you can, so that's sort of down this end, and make it a bit bigger. That's probably a reasonable size here, and you can still see the top image, you can still see this, and we can just see we don't want it anywhere from sort of there down, showing through. So that's got rid of the washer whiffs from behind it. So that's pretty easy, but we'll put something else there just, have I got a sidekick? I think I have. Oh, I might only have sidekicks already transparent. Sorry, there's some of my older ones. I don't. Let's have a look at any old buddy. Doesn't matter if they're current or not. All right, we'll use Olympia and make her a bit bigger. Once again, we've obliterated the background. So we'll add her as a darken as well. Maybe we'll sit her over that side. Oh, actually, she's going to be too hard because I can't really see through. No, I won't use her. I'll get rid of her. Okay, what else can I use where we're going to see through? I'll get a washer whiffs tub if I've got one. Sorry, I should have thought this through before. Tub? Have I got a tub? No. Let's go for spray. Kitchen. Have I got a kitchen spray? There we go, kitchen soap. That'll do. Open. And just make that a bit bigger. Pop that. Oh, that's not going to work because that's one I've actually clipped. So as you can see, you can't see through that anyway. So that works. Okay. I think you probably get the picture anyway. Look, I've got to find something else to stick on there. This is funny. Dryer discs. I think I've got it just saved as DD, have I? Where are we? No, maybe not. Dryer. There we go. Okay, open. So we'll bring that in. And once again, we've got it blocking out the back. So sometimes they don't cause much drama because they've already got, they might be mostly white. So I think this is one that doesn't, oh no, it does. See, that's bad. In fact, that's going to be really hard to see through. So what you kind of need to do there is actually, I put it back to normal and fade so that, see how I'm just fading it lightly by moving this thing along. You can fade it right out or whatever. So I put it back to normal to fade. This is just while we do this bit. Then go into eraser, and it's still got the settings that I had it set on before because it doesn't change it until you go out of the program. So now I'll just erase this bit out because I can see what I'm doing. It's a bit harder here because it's a very straight edge, but you know, even if you just, actually I'm doing the wrong bit, aren't I? Those bits don't matter because they're not going to be there. You've got to come on, oh sugar, hang on, paint that back in. I'm doing the wrong thing. Paint that back in, back you go. Right, get off that, we need to come into this little thing there. That's the washer whisk. The way you can often tell what the item is if it's scented. So we're on washer, we've clicked onto the washer whisk, and that's what we need to erase, the bit that's underneath the dry discs. So back here, just coming up the inside. So we only need to worry the bits that are showing through. So you can see a bit of the jar. If you've got clear screen, you can see it up in here. Just down the edge of the packet a little. And that will probably do. I don't think, just a little more there. Right, now we click off that again and back onto the dry discs, and we come back to the blend mode and go to darken. Now see, that's looking dodgy because I've erased too much of the washer whisk. So in that case, I usually just delete that thing, come back here to the washer whisk and paint it back in. Go to the eraser, paint. And I'd think, no, I'm not going to use that one. So it is really a trial and error, and you just work with what you can. And sometimes you can hide things too. Say if I found a picture of a washer whisk and it had something overlaying it there, and I could roughly crop it out, but then I'd think that's going to look terrible. I'd just come in here and type in like flower. Let's just say I'll have loads of flowers. Right, okay, here's a flower I've saved. Open that. And even on there, it's dodgy. As you can see, it's got sort of like blurry writing. So it's going to look a bit nicer if you sit a flower there. Now I'm going to show you just a little bit on how to do headings and to give them a little bit more. So this is the standard, if you click on hours, that's the standard fonts that come with, the gold ones are the ones if you pay, the crowns are the ones if you pay to have it. But I love font, so I download hundreds. So when you click on yours, I've got a load more. So a lot of people often ask me what programs I use because they like the fonts I use. And they're not in programs. They're ones I download, and you usually have to pay for them. Only a couple of dollars usually. Sometimes you can get some good free ones though too, but I just love font, so we'll use this one. I'm just going to call it, let's pretend it's a Laundry Love package, even though it's not. I just center it, roughly, approximately. Click center there, that's the center. And when you come back in here and click, it'll jump to the center. Now, we'll just call it Laundry Love. It's not Laundry Love, but you know. Then I highlight it. So what I just did there is just drag the cursor over it to highlight it. Then come to this black bit and click on that. And this is when you can use Color Picker to pick something out of what you've done. So I might use one of the blues, the blue out of the flower. And I think that could be a bit bigger, so I highlighted it again. It's on 125. I reckon we can take it up to 144, even more. You can actually type in here 177. That will do. And then I think that would look nice if it actually had a bit of a glow behind it. So if you've got the paid version, effects, and once again here, you click it, use the picker. I'll come in and pick the yellow off there, and you can see it's got a light yellow glow around it, but we're going to make that a bit bigger. Just dragging where the blur is, intensity just a little bit more. And so that looks, you know, a lot nicer. Just laundry love. Now, let's just pretend you want the logo on this. See, I wouldn't bother, but we're going to do it. Once again, click the butterfly, add your own. I've got logos. I know where things is kept in here. No one else would. I've got a ridiculous amount of programs downloaded. Now I've got these, so I will go with a purple one here in PNG format. Open. Make it smaller. Oh, that's one thing PicMonkey's just done that I don't like. If you make something smaller, the whole thing used to just go smaller, but now it's sort of dropping bits off if you're not careful. So it's a pain. I'm still getting used to how to do it. Anyway, I think I will. Oh, sorry, my frustration here. I don't know what it's doing. No, I can't seem to. Aha, it's going to let me now, I think. Because we don't want to chop any of that off, that's for sure. Right, I think that's, no, it's still got some missing. Hang on. I'll put it down here, make it wider. I don't want it bigger, I just want it. I actually don't know what it's doing here. I haven't tried with the, and it doesn't seem to want to, I need to get the full consultant in without changing the size. Yeah. That must be the maximum size of the actual, no it's not, because we're over the edge. Shouldn't have even done this, but anyway. I'm going to work on that later and see. And I want the whole thing to stay in. Oh, that's better. Right. So see where I've placed it? There's enough white all around it. There's no, like all around here, there's enough white. It's not interfering with the background. If I had a patterned background underneath it, in fact, I'm just going to show you by adding, I'm just going to go to background. There's something that's highly patterned that I've got. Well, let's just use this thing. And I'm just going to show you once this is here. And I'll just, if you right click on something and moves it backwards, so I've right clicked, and I'm going to go send it backward. Right. Now, that background's not so bad. You can actually read it, but sometimes we see backgrounds that are really highly patterned, and especially if someone's got a white logo on a highly patterned background, or a black logo on a dark background, or the purple background on a purple logo on a background that clashes, you can't read the logo. So it's very, very important to read the style guide as to how to place the logo. Anyway, I think that's all. I'm sorry that there was a little bit of stuffing around, but hopefully, you know, it might have taught you a couple of things. Anyway, if you've got any questions, you can ask. Thank you.